Welcome back to the Stoop football fans. It's your boy Lolo. I have my cameraman Diego. Say what's up.
What's up?
You can say more than that.
Arsenal's the best team ever.
Yes, they are. All right, we're about to go up and talk to your dad. What do you think he's got to say about Arsenal?
I think he's gonna say something about Kai Havertz, Declan Rice.
What?
New signings, how maybe the new chance for Leandro Trossard and Kai Havertz.
And who's going to win the league?
Arsenal.
There you go. I'm here with my brother-in-law, Mr. John Lawler. Gunner's big win, yeah?
Cheers. Big win.
3 points.
Huge win. 3 points is 3 points, man.
Exactly. 3 points is 3 points.
So,
And you might have noticed, we're not actually on the stoop, but we are on the stoop of Vigo, Galicia. You can see the beautiful city of Vigo. I am still on vacation a little bit, but it's football season, and football's back. Football is back, and terrible, terrible VAR decisions are back.
Exactly, exactly. So nothing has changed.
Talk to me about what happened last night, because we were watching that together. We saw it happen.
I thought I was watching the upcoming Rugby World Cup last night with that tackle, that mid-air collision that was just a coming together, of course, because it was in Old Trafford.
Oh, and Ten Hag said not a foul, and Onana said not a foul.
Of course, because they're Dutch. But anyway,
didn't Arsenal? Didn't we lose to Spurs?
Yes.
Because of a Cedric,
yeah.
Nothing foul. Yeah. Now here's the difference: is it because it's the keeper? Is it because
it's Old Trafford?
Are we wrong that it was a foul?
No, and look, anywhere else on the pitch, it's a free kick, right? So what's the difference?
But anywhere else on the pitch, you can't use your hands, and the keeper doesn't come out.
But even if you're jumping in the air, two players, and
it's a foul.
One collides like that, it's going to be a foul. But the most ridiculous thing that happened yesterday after that incident was when we all thought he was going over to look at the screen.
Yeah, here he goes. He's going to the monitor. He's
going over.
Monitor.
It's a penalty. Boom. Yellow card for Gary O'Neill. What the hell? Like, man, that was absolutely insane.
And I feel bad because anytime us Arsenal fans are bitching and moaning about VAR referee decisions, Mark always chimes in with, like, you don't know what it's like to have bad VAR decisions. And I always think he's full of crap. But I got to say, every single Wolves match I watch, there's something.
Yeah,
there's just something.
I said it to Mark yesterday, well, when we were chatting in the group, it's like Wolves deserved at least a point out of it yesterday, and the penalty would have just been, deserved right at the end.
Yeah.
They played really well, man. You look at the touches in the boxes that they had.
Yeah, it was like
shots
in the 30s or the.
I was impressed. I told you I hadn't watched, to be honest, Mark. I hadn't watched much of Wolves at all.
No.
So when I was saying to you,
they weren't watchable last year.
No, Mateus,
but Cunha man of the match to me, and somehow Onana gets man of the match.
He got man of the match?
He got man of the match.
He did make a lot of saves.
He made a lot of saves, yeah.
With his legs. He made a good few saves with his legs.
And he made a save with his arms as he tackled somebody. Anyway,
the point going back to that, the whole thing, that decision was ridiculous. And then to rub salt in the wounds, afterwards, all the referees association or Pogmal or
immediately afterwards,
Howard, that was a wrong decision. And the referee that ripped us off last season, who was reinstated for the Premier League this year, he was part of the VAR panel.
He was part of that. And then immediately they say, oh, they're not going to be selected next week for any matches.
So what?
I'm like, so what?
Wolves fans don't care about that.
They'll be back the next week when they're back at Old Trafford.
Exactly. They'll have a stint in the Championship and come in and, I don't know. Anyway, it just goes to show that, look, referees, and it always happens in Old Trafford. I know everybody hates Manchester United, but it always happens in Old Trafford. They always get the call, man.
Well,
but
that's just normal
unlucky
stuff.
Wolves. I think if Wolves continue to play like that this season, they'll be okay.
Yeah.
They'll be okay.
Well, let's get to in the Arsenal match. We're not going to break down everything that happened there. To me, the biggest thing that happened there was Jury and Timber going down. Yeah. It's going down. We're yelling timber. Copyright
make
infringement.
a move.
Don't sing too much of it. Kesh will be looking for money.
Kesh, yeah. For something else, I don't know.
But terrible, terrible news on that front.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
not just for Arsenal. We saw Kevin De Bruyne go down. We just got word that he's going to be out for months. We saw
Next year.
Emi Buendia go down. We saw Tyrone Mings go down.
Yeah.
We saw who else?
Cuckoo as well. He's already.
Nkunku is out.
There's a few of them.
Terrible, terrible injuries
Yeah.
that can really affect the momentum of a team. For example, I had Aston Villa as my fourth place team.
In the league this year?
Third or fourth place team.
It's a big call.
Fourth place.
They got hammered, man.
They got hammered, but right after I put in my picks, Emi Buendia goes out.
Yeah.
Tyrone Mings goes out. Is that true, Tyrone Mings? Am I right? Yeah.
But he's okay. That's probably a blessing for Villa because they can bring Torres in now and play. So
they have cover for
They have
that.
cover
But
for it.
initially, it was having some really good cover, some really good pickups, and your plan of action in the season. So what are these injuries? Which of these injuries?
with Haaland, I think I think De Bruyne is the biggest impact. We don't know yet. Timber played well for us in pre-season. We were playing some Mickey Mouse games, so Timber played well. He looks a good player.
Yeah, he does.
So I can't say that his is going to be the big. For me, it's De Bruyne. That's if he's out, and that goes to show. For me, it's like the amount of players that are getting injuries. There hasn't been so much of a gap between the end of the season.
Yeah.
A lot of them have still been playing some international games, and lots of these long distance tournaments in the States or in other, in Asia Pacific, and I think they haven't got as much of a break as normal, especially the year last year with the World Cup.
He pushed the season a little
pushed
later.
the season later, played some more games.
Yeah.
The turnaround was quicker, and I think that's what could have caused some of these injuries earlier on. I don't know. It's it, but for me, De Bruyne,
I
has
think
to be
De Bruyne has
biggest
to be
impact.
that big injury. And do you think they go out and get Paquetá? Because he would slot in that Kevin De Bruyne position. I mean, they're sitting on Calvin Phillips. They're sitting on Kovacic.
Yeah.
All these players, they have a dearth of players
Yeah.
that they could use. So that's why I wouldn't say Kevin De Bruyne is the biggest, because as important as he is to City, they've got cover. And they did all right without him. Yes, they are incredible with him.
Yeah. It's just what way do they change how they play for Haaland to get more goals? I don't know what way they're going to work it now with him out, and Pep is probably going to have to go into the market for a bit of cover. Yeah,
That's where I think
He will.
they may have balked on West Ham's 100 million, 110 million for Paquetá, and now they may just pony up and pay it. I mean, I really think that Emi Buendia he was such a key figure for them, and he's an Unai Emery style player. I feel like those two. My biggest choice with Aston Villa finishing fourth. I know that's me saying like I'm going to be the only one right if that happens. Yeah. I know it's probably not going to happen, but I saw what they did last season, and they had one of the best records for the second half since Emery came in.
Yeah.
So to go from relegation to what did they finish, like 7th, 6th,
Villa
8th
finished
maybe?
8th, I think.
But from being dead in the water.
Yeah.
So to me, going without Emi Buendia, they looked a different team. They lost the midfield against Newcastle.
Yeah.
Now Newcastle's going to be fantastic.
That's what I mean. That's another story. I think I put Newcastle in my top 4.
Yeah, I had them
year.
third.
So they just look solid everywhere, man. They're just going to be hard to break down. But yeah, Buendia is good, but I don't think there were still rumours that he was going. There was a few clubs sniffing after him as well.
Yeah.
Us, we were actually looking at him as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's also that's a massive blow to Villa. But yeah, I don't know who.
Yeah.
They have a load of young players as well that can come in. Not as good, but they haven't got the backup like a City would have, or even that we'd have. But yeah, Buendia will be an impact to Villa as well.
Cameraman checking his phone. So let's get last thing I want to talk about is what on earth is going on at Chelsea Football Club. how on earth are they able to spend the money they are? I know you don't have all these answers, but maybe you just have some thoughts on this, because it's looking like they got Caicedo. They're probably going to get Lavia, and now they're looking at who?
Elise from Crystal Palace.
Elise.
They're going to activate a 35 million.
Talk to
release
Naji
clause.
right now. Tell him why this is.
Chelsea are quickly becoming that not as hated as Spurs, but it's just with the, how are they not being penalised for spending so much money? And I know they've got rid of a few players, but I just don't understand how they haven't been in breach of the FPP, the financial fair play.
I mean, clearly we don't know enough about what that actually means, and the amortization and how they're getting around. Supposedly, since they're not any UEFA competitions, they don't have to abide by the 5-year rule or something.
I thought I heard
so for that 1 year that they weren't in Champions League, it actually benefited them finishing terribly.
I don't know. I just think I heard that they were not allowed outbid Liverpool for Caicedo.
And now they're buying two players on top of it.
But so who have they got rid of? Kepa's gone.
I don't know.
Azpilicueta's gone.
But if you talk to any Chelsea fan like Naji, he will
gone?
tell you that they've actually made money. It's just nonsense. So tell me, how, if this all happens, should we be afraid of Chelsea? Like, should we?
I'm regretting where I put them in my top 4 this year.
Where'd you put them?
I think I put them 2nd or 3rd. But now, having seen them against Liverpool and how bad actually both teams were that day and how easy it was for through balls to go, none of them looked good in the middle of the park. Chelsea had Jackson that looked good. Conor Gallagher actually played okay.
Who's going to get the boot?
He'd probably get the boot. But it's just like, I'm not afraid of any of those teams, and that's not being anything arrogant. Arsenal, we've suffered for many years, and I look at Chelsea and I'm like, we'll do Chelsea. We should do Chelsea twice this year. Liverpool, I think we should do twice as well. Looking at them playing, but I wouldn't be fearful of them. I'm surprised they didn't start Mudryk. I think this is his year. This could be his year to break out and shine, but they had him on the bench and brought him on with 15 minutes left. I think it was 15 minutes left, and he looked okay in pre-season as well, so that's why.
Well, supposedly, according to Naji, he's been like one of the best players of pre-season. So
so why start him on the bench against Liverpool? It's like that's a
weird
decision. So,
but I have a little fear with Chelsea because I saw for so many years what Pochettino could do with a crap Spurs side, with a Spurs side that was just essentially Kane and Son. And I know you Tottenham fans are going to say there was other people. Yeah, nobody cares.
Stand up. Oh, sorry. No, this isn't that.
I'm already standing.
He is.
I look like I'm sitting, but no. I'm on a hill, okay? I am short, but
I'm not that big.
short. But I know what Pochettino can do, and he's now got all the tools he could ever ask for, and they keep buying more. So this Pokemon Club of collect all the players that you can.
Pokemon Club.
I feel like Liverpool and Chelsea were both lucky to face each other the first week of the season because they're both not where they will be in even a month or two. In even a month or two, once they get some signings in and once they flush out the midfields of both of those teams, they've got the attacking prowess. They can defend decently. So they were lucky to get a draw. I think getting a draw at Chelsea, at Liverpool later in the season will be a win for a lot of teams.
Yeah.
Possibly Arsenal included, where at least we got that point there.
Well, like I said as well, I think the Liverpool fans that I talked to and, Owen, who I was watching the match with last week, they were happy with the draw away to Chelsea, but Liverpool and Chelsea always draw.
Yeah, I just thought it would be 0-0. I just thought it would be 0-0.
Always a draw. But yeah, I wouldn't be fearful of Chelsea, even with the signings that they plan to bring in. Like Caicedo, no problem. That for me, he's a disruptor in the dressing room. Yeah. So I don't feel we've missed out on him. We paid a bit more than I wanted for Declan Rice, but I think he's going to be a better squad player, better team, better
And in the
teammate.
dressing room.
better-
Yeah.
Just a better leader.
So who
And-
does scare you? Because I know who scares me.
Well,
And they don't wear powder blue.
Aside from City, Newcastle are there. They're not yet the finished article, but I think I'm just hoping Man United don't click this year. Looking at them yesterday against Wolves, they were a bit poor, but I think they can still.
They'll figure things out.
I just can't believe they didn't go all out for Harry Kane and keep him in the Premier League, and
120 would have got him,
that's it. But for me, out of the teams, it would be City. I said will win the league, of course. Like most people think. Newcastle are the ones that will keep pushing and coming in. But Manchester United have this horrible feeling this year they could do something.
That would be terrible.
I have a horrible feeling they could do something this year, but yeah, that's it. I don't know for you. Who's
Newcastle. If you look at them, the additions, the subtractions, the additions of Tonali, Harvey Barnes, who a lot of people were like, what do you mean Harvey Barnes? Who cares? He goes in and he gets a goal and an assist, I believe, off the bench.
Yeah.
They have Isak, who is like, the dude can score in any way
brilliant.
possible.
Wilson is
Joe
class
Linton,
as well,
Wilson.
Yeah.
You forget Almiron.
Neil-
Trippier had a bad game
Yeah.
in Trippier's standards.
No, they're solid everywhere.
They
They're
are solid everywhere, and they can put up 5 goals, but they can also play shut-down football and annoy like they did to us last season.
Yeah.
So being able to do both of those, and Eddie Howe is a good manager. I think if they don't
Who do they
challenge
play
for the
next?
title this season, they will be challenging next season. So if it was any year for Arsenal to win the league, it was last year,
Of course, it was last year. Yeah.
and now it has to be this year.
But now we'll see, because Newcastle play Man City next.
Yeah, so
Newcastle
that'll be
play
big.
Man City on Saturday evening.
That'll be huge.
So that's going to be a big game.
And-
There's 2 good games there
And
coming
City
up.
play on Wednesday,
And
and
then-
then have to play. They play in the Super Cup,
Super Cup against Seville, yeah.
and then they have to play on Saturday, which finally FA scheduling works out for Arsenal because we play Saturday, and then we don't play until Monday. Which
Crystal Palace, yeah.
you think they would have given City the Monday match because they play
Yeah.
Wednesday, but anyway,
No worries. I think
it all evens
they
out.
deserve it, man. They deserve it. I just need to see the referees actually hand out a yellow card for Rodri every now and then. That's all we're
Oh
missing.
my God!
It's
Oh
like
my God!
the VAR call from yesterday, penalty for Wolves, and Rodri can go around and kick anyone he wants. Rodri could walk up like the commitments last night, like Mick don't fucking me wallet. He could stitch someone a loaf and he'd let it go. It's like no one would do anything.
And then he score a goal and
Get it,
man of the
Rodri.
match, and you're like, oh, I was so glad we stopped
Oh.
that penalty against him. He was the one
Oh,
who
yeah.
had egg on his
Yeah,
face.
yeah.
Anyway, thank you.
Okay.
Thanks for talking to me. Thanks for taking
Good,
some
man.
time out of our beer drinking. And
Salud, chicos.
And thank you to my nephew and my daughter and my niece who are helping us film. So if you don't like their filming style, if it's too shaky, if there's fingers in the shot, just remember, you're yelling at a child. You're judging a child. So thank you very much. This will be my last broadcast from Spain. So thank you, Galicia. Beautiful, beautiful, wonderful day. Show them that beautiful
Brooklyn
sky.
in the house.
Yeah, big up Brooklyn. We'll see you back in Brooklyn, everybody. Peace.